First off, just happy to get a road win. Knew it was going to be tough, but we started off great, man. We had it going. Then we subbed, and then everything just went downhill. We didn't keep the same momentum up. And that bench has to come in. We have a very dynamic bench, man, and they just weren't ready to come in and keep the energy high. And they got back into the game and went on a hell of a run. And we got some guys in foul trouble as well at the same time. But we feel like we're very deep. And the way we started that game off, looked like a top 10 team in the country. But that middle phase looked like one of the worst teams in the country. So we got to shore that up. It was DeAndre's first game. Had a lot of nervous energy. He doesn't shoot free throws that bad, but just happy to have him out there tonight to help with the energy.
We'll start with Jason.
Hey, Penny, what did you think of Lester's performance, especially coming off a game where he, didn't play great?
No, Lester came to play today. He's a competitor. He works his butt off. He's one of our hard-nosed kids that's going to guard anybody, rebound the basketball, knock down shots, try to make plays. So I was really proud of his effort. He had a great game tonight.
Terry?
Hey, Coach, after the last game, your mood was noticeably displeasure. So what's your mood now of the team, and how you think you can start stacking wins now?
Well, I just saw our defense with DeAndre at the small ball 5. We obviously have to get Musa brought up to speed to be able to play against the smaller teams. Most teams are going to try to take him out by going small ball. They put like a small forward at the 5 spot. So having DeAndre at the 5 and switching everything, we look really deadly doing that, man. So I looked at that and was like, man, we could be really good. He stays out of foul trouble and plays that small ball 5. Got some has some elite defense during that time and offense.
Danielle?
A lot more missed layups tonight, just like in the Auburn game. Is there any common denominator that you're seeing in that?
Guys got to take the ball to the rim. They don't even have a shot blocker. When teams don't have shot blockers, you got to get the ball to the rim. They're just shooting and hoping to me. Like, you're just throwing the ball up there. And obviously in the middle of the paint, it's been a tough shot for us, man. But we got to live in the paint and keep taking those shots and make them at a higher clip. Right now, it's just I can't put my finger on it.
Jeff?
When, Penny, did you hear about DeAndre? How did that play out? And how contagious was the energy? It looked like every time he did something good, the bench was totally into it.
Yeah, I got the call at about 2 o'clock from Kristen Kelly saying that it was going to go through. And I was excited because I knew his energy. That's what he does every day in practice. I figured he would get into foul trouble because he attacks every offensive rebound, plays very aggressive on defense. He goes after every block. And I figured that he would just be so excited that he would have foul trouble tonight. I really did, because he was ready to play. But his energy is like that every day. That's why the team, every time he did something, his first play, he caught the ball off the rim. We haven't seen that all year. So that's what he brings to the table, and that's what he's going to bring for the rest of the year. He missed all of his free throws, so that's all he's talking about right now. He's such a perfectionist.
Terry?
Hey, Coach, you've been worried about the guard play. Is it really the guard play that's really hampering this offense, or is it just the lack of converting open shots?
I think it's a little of both, man. I love both of those kids, but they're not playing really well right now, Damian or Alo. One is playing okay, then the other one's playing bad, and then vice versa. So we haven't been able to get those guys up to an elite level together, and that's what we need. And then we're missing open shots. You got to make your open shots.
Jason?
Along those same lines, are you still committed to Damian and Alex, or are you open to, if it keeps kind of going this way, are you considering anything different?
Well, we have a positionless offense where you really don't need a point guard. I'm with those guys. I recruited them to come here for this. But in certain instances, we might go bigger and have both of them off the floor. We might have Lester and Jaden bringing the ball up. We might have Boogie and Landers bringing the ball up. We might have DJ and Landers bringing the ball up. And then going from there. So whatever's happening, if those guys are struggling a little bit, I'm not afraid to go bigger.
Mark?
Hey, Penny, you mentioned that first part of the game where you felt like you looked like a top 10 team. What from that would you like to bottle up and have these guys remember moving forward from those opening 10 minutes?
The defensive stops. The defense was NCAA championship defense, and then we moved the basketball. Got a little stagnant when we subbed, but the first group was playing well together. The ball was moving, and we made our shots from off open looks. We subbed, and we started going one-on-one. Started going to the basket and taking tough shots instead of making an extra pass. So I would love to bottle up that defense and the unselfish play for the entire game.
Christian?
Coach, you said a couple times talking about rotations and the bench underperforming at times. Have there been any thoughts on maybe shortening the rotation? Is that a possibility that we could see if the bench continues to underperform this year?
Absolutely, because it's about winning games. It's not about sympathy minutes. It's not just about giving kids minutes. We want our guys to go in there and try to contribute, but if you're not bringing it, the guys that are bringing it are going to be in the game, and that's what we did in the second half, especially the last 7 minutes. We weren't subbing. We were staying small.
Danielle?
Penny, you mentioned the energy that DeAndre brings to this team. Is that something that was always here, since he arrived this summer, or is it something, that energy and confidence, that you've seen grow as he gets more comfortable around the team?
No. From day one, when he stepped in the gym, that was it. You knew he was different. Like I said in my radio show before the game, his team never loses in the scrimmages in practice because of his energy. He raises everybody else's level up to his. His energy is just contagious.
Christian?
Coach, you also talked about Alex and Damian struggling, specifically with a guy like Alex. How do you go about having a conversation with him and talking to him about his play? Because it seems like he may have lost confidence. It seems he's pressing at times. So how do you handle that situation?
I just try to tell him to get back to who he was. Reach too many clippings, press clippings, reach too many social media posts. You start doing that, man, people aren't saying nice things about him right now. And if you try to prove to them, instead of staying with your brothers and proving to your brothers that you are who you are and all the guys on the team love him and respect his game, that's all that should matter. But it is a lot of pressure on a hometown kid. And when the hometown starts to disown you and start talking about you, it gets to you mentally, and you do lose confidence. And that's what's happened to Alex, really.
Terry?
Hey, Penny, you guys came out with a lot of energy, man, on the road. Is that what you're looking for every game, not just the home games, that they come out with their high energy also at the road games?
Yeah, that's what we want, man. The starters came out exactly how we needed. Now we just got to get the bench to match that. When we sub, we got to go to another level. It can't drop off.
Last question, Jason?
I heard your interview, Penny, before the game where you kind of compared DeAndre to like your version of Kevin Garnett, and you said that he's got triple-double type ability every night. Do you kind of, when you were recruiting him, or when you brought him to Memphis, did you kind of see him as like, sort of something similar to Precious?
Yeah, he's not as physical as Precious, but his energy is like way higher than Precious's. Precious got it done his way. This kid gets it done with max energy, and he's a bowl of energy, and that's just very contagious. Precious was just so much more athletic and fast and bigger, but Dre is just energy. And if I'm not mistaken, he was in the top 5 percentile around the country in the plus minus. He led Evansville in every statistical category. So that lets you know what kind of player he is.
But you're saying you do expect, similar type production. Precious finished with 15 points a game and 10 rebounds a game. You're saying that DeAndre's got that type of ability? Absolutely.
He missed all his free throws, and he had 10 points. He was supposed to have – he didn't get the rebounds because he got into foul trouble. But on a nightly basis, he's going to get double-digit rebounds and double-digit points. He's a double-double machine.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.